I think before, when I hadn't gone, I didn't know much about the country. I didn't know it had so much of a history, and now. I used to think of it as the mountains and the cold weather because it was quite cold, and that's all I really knew about it. I didn't know about the city and how modern it was and everything.
I guess that's where Oslo felt like it was almost quite similar to London in that you experience the daytime in London and in Oslo in the same, like, it's very different from going out at night. I think one of the nights we went to the Opera House, the Oslo Opera House. I remember we sort of went on like our own sort of tour of the buildings. It's quite huge, quite iconic, and the view from there for the rest of the city, of the river is something else. When we went to go see Statoil, it was like the buildings. I didn't know what takes. Obviously, you see it on Google Images how it looks. But it's so different from seeing it itself. The kind of architecture, the design, it was just like it was surreal. It looked way too good. I don't know. And having the architect himself like explain it to us, how the design came about, how his ideas came about. Yeah, it's very interesting.
I think this time around it was a good shout to go to the Thief Hotel again to see Dominic and have that lush breakfast.
It was like hearing someone's story like that and coming how far they've come forward from where they were, and he was an orphan and all like that. It was just quite, because it sort of inspired me to like focus on everything I can do, because if he can like come from where he was to do managing the best hotel in Northern Europe, it's just I can do anything.
To go to the art museum where we saw the Scream painting, and also have a workshop with the Norwegian young people.
They were there and we just got some time to spend with them, and we bonded on it over some stuff, talked about our interests and what represented us, and we were really happy. We made some friends, so yeah.
I've never been to something like that in London, so I don't really have much of a comparison between the Red Barna in Oslo and anything that I've done in London, so it was a new experience all around. It was quite interesting that the whole event was catered for young people, and the audience was almost entirely young kids, and the performers were obviously performing for them. Yeah, it was quite interesting to see that when the president came to talk, they were kind of receptive, and everyone was just silent and listening. So yeah, it was quite hectic, but it was being there, it was quite good backstage.
That was quite cool, because you walk up the steps, you were sort of under the stage at first, and then you walk up the steps and you come and see all the people in the auditorium, and then you see the president in the front, and it's quite surreal just coming up and seeing all that, and then you're like right next to with high class politicians and high up people in whatever they're doing, and it was like an amazing experience to see all this, and it's something that not many people get to witness. So I felt quite special to be there.
After that, we were just standing in our positions, 2 different positions. I had the zoom lens and Qasim had the normal 18 by 55 lens, and we were just shooting pictures until people started coming in. That's when the zoom lens came in handy, because I got to really get close-ups and really good pictures of the royal family. And then they sat down, and then everyone already had sat down, all the audience, and I saw Sat and the group, and they really looked like they were focused, and I got a few good pictures of them too. So yeah, that was really good.
I've been to a couple of concerts before, but I don't usually go because I don't know, it's just not really my thing. But that was really good. I have to say that was really good, because I don't usually enjoy stuff like that. But when it comes to that, you see amazing artists like Sting and Halsey representing all her views and everything. That was quite a cool experience to see. And then obviously the Colombian president coming up and talking.
Obviously at the concert it was completely different, because obviously the host, she was speaking in Norwegian. We had quite a few Norwegian acts. Obviously we were looking forward to. You kind of expected it, sort of the difference between that and the American performers at Sting, and basically people who you expected to be speaking English. You expected there to be like a huge difference between the two, but in terms of the music, his birth is just as enjoyable as ever. It wasn't really, you didn't spot the difference so much when, you know, for example, I kind of pop when they were performing.
We'd never actually met the host of the concert before, so it was like a nice finishing touch because it was the night before we were flying out. That was the highlight for me because Conan O'Brien is like one of the most known comedians. He's on YouTube all the time and he gets millions of hits. For him to spend time with us to speak about his experiences, how he grew up, the things that he overcame, and even doing the mannequin challenge with us, that was a really good day for me because all of us got to speak to him and ask questions and understand his perspective and how he even writes jokes, things like that, which were really inspiring to learn about.
I wasn't really expecting that because we were all looking out for him at the ceremony, and we all looking above everyone's heads trying to see him. And then I saw him just by the door, and I rushed over quickly and got a picture. So yeah, I was quite lucky to get that. Yeah.
Well, I learned the first time I went there that the potential laureates who are in the run-up to get the Nobel Peace Prize, who haven't won the Nobel Peace Prize but they were in the list nominated, they aren't revealed until 50 years after. So that was really interesting to learn as well the first time I went.